What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Dirty Shore Underground. Tonight's podcast, if you stick with us every week, you should know. It is wrestling night prior to ACW Adrenaline Championship Wrestling. But before we get into it, Rob.
Make sure you check out DirtyShoreUnderground.com. New episodes of the podcast every Thursday. Bonus episodes will be returning in just a couple of weeks, so make sure you keep an eye out for that. We'll be broadcasting on Sunday nights, posting on Monday afternoons. Those bonus episodes are for the Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead episodes, so make sure you check those out. And of course, while you're at the website, make sure you check out the Amazon link. It's a great way to support the podcast network. Click to the link there. It takes you to the Amazon shop like you normally do. Costs you nothing extra, but as a thank you for sending you there, Amazon gives us a little something. Helps us keep the lights on, keep the bandwidth flowing so you can enjoy all of this free content. Of course, make sure you're following at Dirty Shore UG on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. It's the easiest way to stay up to date on everything that's going on. And with the event that we're talking about tonight, that we're going to be out on Saturday night, you definitely want to be following on social media so that you can get all of the live streams directly from the event. And of course, finally, we are live streaming this and every episode at youtube.com/c/DirtyShoreUG-OTA. Make sure you join us there during the live streams. You can be part of the podcast. Scroll down to the bottom where it says live comments. Click there, and then you can post on that side of the screen. All the comments come up. We'll read out questions and comments from the Alliance, and you can be part of the show. But today, as I said, we have the event coming up this weekend. It's ACW Broken Dreams right here in Denton, Maryland. The Dirty Shore Underground crew will be in the house there. So just so I can check.
We are officially getting a battery pack so we can live stream all night.
Okay, well, I'll have my phone charged, hopefully. So what's the door time, bell time?
6:30 is door time, I do believe.
So 6:30 is door time. I think bell time's 7:30. So make sure that you come out.
Doors open at somewhere around 7, according to the poster.
All right, so doors at 7, bells at 7:30. Make sure you join us on Saturday, August 20th, here in Denton, Maryland. It's 850.
We are talking about wrestling tonight.
400 South 5th Avenue.
400 South 5th Avenue in
Denton Firehouse.
Yeah, so make sure you join us out there on August the 20th.
And so don't forget, because you know damn well I'll show up before you do.
August the 20th, doors at 7, bell at 7:30, Denton Fire Hall, 400 South 5th Avenue in Denton, Maryland. So make sure you join us out there for the event. We, of course, we were in the house for ACW's event back in June. We did update from the event and, of course, had the episode that week. But we have a whole new thing to look forward to. So what are you... And, of course, we have Russell the Love Muscles in the house with us as a special guest this week to do a preview of the event. So what do we have to look forward to from Broken Dreams this week, Russ?
The Hall of Famer Sonny. The Hall of Fame, the first quote-unquote diva.
Let's talk about me.
Keep talking.
Don't worry about that.
Don't read. Keep talking.
We're getting assholes tonight. We get it.
That's all right. Well, thank you guys for helping our numbers. We appreciate it. But anyway, go ahead.
The Hall of Famer of diva, formerly known as Sonny, will be in attendance. The Demon Vampire Kindred will face Luigi Rich. Both of them are the two previous Kings of Maryland. They'll face off in a match that they've been building up to this for the last couple of months. There is a fatal four-way number one contendership match for light heavyweight championship between Joker, Travis Banks, and AC Wolf, and you're going to have to excuse me on the fourth one. I'm not 100% sure who the fourth person is. That's a fatal four-way match. There's a tag team match between Pretty Ugly and Blackout, which has been years in the making. Pat Anthony versus Diaz for the light heavyweight championship, which Diaz has not lost in 4 years.
Yeah, 4 years.
He's held for 4 years, so I think it's time for him to lose. I'm voting team hashtag Pat Anthony on that one. I mean, I'm a good guy, Pat's a bad guy.
It's time for a title change.
It's time for a title change.
Yeah, so what can we look for? You are going to be participating in the event. You will be there.
Yes, but I'm not telling you what I'm going to be doing.
Oh, come on now.
I already tried.
You already tried. It's not going to tell you what I'm going to do.
Yeah, so apparently they're having trouble hearing these. So make sure you project a little bit. So
okay, fine.
Well, don't yell, but just project.
Okay, fine then. It would be during the second day of Summerfest, and for everybody, if you get hot and miserable outside,
don't read, talk.
I'm not trying to read.
I used to be
Reading's not my strong suit. I'm from Caroline County.
All right, so
what do you expect from me,
The event's taking place on August 20th. Now, for anybody who knows anything about the Midshore area, the third weekend in August is a big deal for Denton, Maryland, because Denton has their big summer event, Summerfest, every single week. So a town of about 5,000 people will increase to about 25,000 people over the course of the weekend. So we know that there are going to be a ton of people in town for Summerfest on Friday and Saturday night. You're going to be downtown on Market Street, Franklin Street, and Gay Street in downtown Denton, right around the courthouse green. And you are about 5 blocks away from a fantastic ACW event up on 5th Avenue. So you really just want to make sure that you don't miss out on this great event. So
the Fatal 4-Way is, to get back to that, I did find out who the fourth person was. It's Travis Banks versus Vic Ramone versus Joe Kerr versus AC Wolf. And whoever wins that is the #1 contender for the ACW Light Heavyweight Championship.
Now, this event is hopefully going to be, well, there was plenty of people at the last event. It was a packed house at the last event.
It was stadium room only at the last event.
So if you don't have tickets yet for this event, make sure you reach out to Russell the Love Muscle. The links will be in the show notes so you can get your tickets. We have our tickets right here. So make sure you reach out to get your tickets because there may not be any available at the door. They may have to shut this event down.
Street fight.
No street fights.
No, there is
that's
a
how
street
you get
fight.
burns. That's how you get burns.
There is a street fight at the show.
At what show?
At the wrestling show.
At this one?
What do they call it? The Eastern Shore Beatdown?
Well, it's not outside though.
No, it's not actually
right,
outside.
It's a little different.
The word street fight means anything goes, basically.
All right, so we were there back in June, and it was a fantastic event. And Gangrel was there, so we are looking forward to the next one. But a lot has actually happened with the ACW community between then and now as well. 2 things I want to point out. Number 1 is, well, I guess both of them are the same thing. A couple of folks who are going to be participating on Saturday night have actually been on national TV in the last couple of weeks. First one is Russell on national TV a couple of times in the last few weeks.
Yes, I have it.
He's like,
he's all demure now. When you first found out about it, he was a braggart, and now you want to be demure about it. So let everybody know how it is that you were on national TV.
I went to a show, and I was asked to help do security. And when I was asked to help do security, there's 3 or 4 segments that I'm in that I can see my fat, lovable self in.
I don't even want to say fat no more because
I'm
you have lost so much weight since you started doing wrestling now.
Yeah, but I am also fat, so it's.
You ain't Rikishi fat. It's all relative.
The other 2 guys that will be on, Sonny Boy from the New Day will be there, and the man that started making Braun Strowman scary again, James Ellsworth, is.
Wait, no, don't skip ahead because I don't want to skip out on this. So, how are people going to find you on TV? It was Ring of Honor.
You on the Fight TV under Ring of Honor, and their last 2 episodes, I have a short, not even 2 or 3 minute. I'm not even on there 2 or 3 minutes, but you can see me.
But that's where you get started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was a security guard. I had the time of my life. I can't wait to do it again.
I mean, come on, Ellsworth was a Rosebud at one time.
Well, and you said earlier that was the highlight thus far. Of your
seeing
wrestling
myself on national TV was pretty cool. The highlight was winning the first championship. Which I remind you, they were there for,
yep.
And I never lost it. Which that'll get talked about on another podcast.
Yeah, I did notice it's up this week, right? Or it was up last week at the last event, the Indie Roundup Championship.
Yeah, which I never lost, but that's another podcast.
I got a scoop on that.
Night.
We can't talk about it live
okay,
at the moment. But
fair enough. All right, so you were on there as security, so everybody should check out. Go to fight.tv.
The Fight TV app. It's
Fight TV app.
Basically MMA, boxing, and wrestling. It's sort of like the WWE Network, except you can watch boxing, MMA pay-per-views, or wrestling pay-per-views for lower cost, and multiple smaller independent promotions will put their stuff on Fight TV. So I could watch Fight TV in Hawaii, I could watch it in the Philippines, I could watch it in India, I could watch it in Siberia. I could watch it anywhere I wanted to.
Well, and the most important thing, though, is to go to Ring of Honor and look up episode 456. Is that what it was?
My phone's dead. It's
okay.
The last two episodes.
The last two episodes.
Or to watch this weekend's Ring of Honor when you're not watching NXT, SummerSlam, Raw. What else is there this weekend? The Ring of Honor pay-per-view. There's also a Ring of Honor, the actual TV show for Ring of Honor is on this weekend. This whole week is pretty much, there's wrestling every single night. Tonight is TNA.
So the fans...
Is Impact on Pop. Tomorrow night is Impact on Pop.
Alright, so
tomorrow night is Impact on Pop. Tonight is
fans need to run into the
Classic.
Ring of Honor boards and whatnot and be like, we need more love muscle.
Yes,
I'm not even on their radar yet.
Be like, hey, this guy.
Ellsworth wasn't either.
I'm not even on.
Well, so
I'm not even on major companies' radar
fans
yet.
put you there.
So that's the next point. Is that actually the other side of this is that the promoter for ACW has found a little bit of notoriety himself in the past few weeks.
The promoter is a guy by the name of Jimmy Morris. Jimmy Dream.
Yeah.
The guy that you guys are thinking about is a legendary jobber named James Ellsworth, and he's making Braun Strowman scary again. And they're two totally different people who just happen to have the same tattoos, but they're two totally different people.
So has Kenny been lying to me for the past few weeks?
I don't know what he's been telling you, but it's two different people.
Two different people.
Yes.
All right. So who is the person that we saw on? Was it Raw? The Raw
event? Yes,
event?
that is the man named James Ellsworth.
Okay. So tell me about James Ellsworth. What do you know about him?
I know about as much as you know about him.
Well, I don't know anything about him at all.
That's what I'm saying.
He has two hands and a fighting chance. That's all I know about him.
You've seen me take a chair shot.
No, wait. So kind of catch me up on how did James Ellsworth make his appearance in Raw?
I don't really know. They picked him out of a crowd, I guess. I don't really know.
So he's gonna be in ACW.
Yes. James Ellsworth will be at ACW along with Sonny Boy, along with the Diva Sonny.
There's a lot of confusing names.
Second will be there.
Okay.
He's kind of my boy at the moment.
I'm extremely nervous because once again this is as close to a hometown wrestling show as I'm going to get, and I always get nervous before wrestling shows, but
it's going to give you butterflies going into a hometown style show.
And it's during Summerfest. There will be a lot of people there.
Yeah.
And which I still have tickets for, by the way, to the show. And I will be walking around Summerfest with a humongous sign selling tickets Friday night. And hopefully I will see people there that have not gotten to me yet about the tickets, but that want to go.
I'll be there throughout Saturday afternoon, so if people don't have their tickets, if they catch me there, I can get them in contact with Russell to get tickets.
Are you going to be walking around in the pink shorts
In my
at Summerfest?
in my pig
Wrestling gear.
wrestling gear?
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
not telling you. I might get arrested. I don't know.
You might get arrested. I think that if you walk out in public in that, you probably should be arrested, honestly. But
Well, I have a good defense lawyer in you.
not me. I'm outside.
Yeah,
I
he's
ain't
not a
leaving.
lawyer no more.
Yeah, no. I'm not doing that anymore.
He's just an Uber driver now.
Yep.
And a podcaster. And a writer.
And about 10,000 other things, including not sleeping.
They have absolutely nothing to do with being a lawyer.
Yeah. Much like James Allworth just made an appearance, there once was a guy named Rob Cheek who was a lawyer. Not anymore. That guy doesn't exist anymore. There's a whole different guy now. So, what are you looking forward to? What are the matches that you're looking forward to coming up this weekend at ACW?
Blackout versus Pretty Ugly, the Fatal 4-Way match.
What? Let's take it one by one. Why are you looking forward to these matches? Each one individually.
Pretty Ugly and Blackout they're both very good tag teams. They wrestled up and down the East Coast, and for the life of me, I don't remember ever seeing them face each other. But I would like to see them face each other.
And we're going to see them face each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
I forgot there is a match between Marcus Waters, one half of the former Hotline Hustlers out of Delaware, of the BEA, the Bingo Enforcement Agency. He will be wrestling Eric Chappell, one half of the Ectorage from MCW. They will be wrestling each other, and also this weekend at the Firehouse in Denton. Michaels Adamo and his manager Lars. For the life of me, I cannot remember Lars's last name because I believe Lars is dead. But he is facing the team of Riot City by himself. Well, Lars will be there, but I'm not really sure where Lars is right now because I haven't seen him in a couple months. There will be
That kills my assumption.
But it will be a pretty good card. I'm not telling you what I'm doing this weekend. I never tell anybody what I'm doing because that takes away from the surprise.
Well, so they haven't announced a fight with you in.
They have correct. They have not
okay.
announced.
Well,
my
this will be
match.
our third one, and we weren't even sure he was going to wrestle the first one.
Right. Yeah.
And we got surprised, and he won the title.
Yeah.
And then the second one, I got to wrestle in front of my parents, which made my.
Did that make you nervous?
I was more nervous wrestling in front of my parents than I was wrestling in front of the other people that were there. Wrestling in front of my parents, it just.
Because I remember when you were 5 bouncing off the couch.
No.
No.
No, they didn't let me watch wrestling until I was like 15, 16.
I
I just had to sneak it because 15, 16, that was the height of the, actually, not 15, 16. Yeah. 15, it was 2001, it was right after the
Also, you
Monday
did
Night
catch
Wars.
I
caught the tail end of the Attitude
You caught
Era.
the stuff when ICP was bouncing around between WWE and
ICP was
WCW.
a joke.
They were fun to watch.
So were the Oddities, but, I mean, oh yeah.
They were great oddities, too.
Yeah, they were. But, I mean, I'm refereeing in front of 700 people down in Tennessee was not as nerve-wracking as wrestling in front of my parents. That was actually more... Is wrestling appropriate for kids?
Yes.
Yes. The wrestling that I'm
Even
doing
in the
is family friendly. The wrestling when I was growing up was geared towards teenagers and young adults. The wrestling now is geared towards all age groups. Mm-hmm. Now there are certain companies that will gear it towards adults. This is not one of those companies. This company gears it towards everybody from 4 to 84.
In fact, there are signs kind of around that say it's a family-friendly show.
Correct.
And I think that on more than one occasion I saw somebody who was working there kind of go up to some adults and be like, "Hey guys, listen, like it's all fun and games, but You're cursing an awful lot, and there's a lot of kids here.
Wrestling fans can be some of the most rabid, loyal, loud, obnoxious fans that I've ever seen. I saw that this weekend in Dover, Delaware. There was a fan that was just, I'm not saying obnoxious in a bad way, I'm saying it in a good way. I'm saying he was into the event, but he was trying to be louder than the show. But
well, and at the last ACW event here in Denton, there was a guy in the front row who brought a sledgehammer with him.
I did not see that. I was so focused on
I just had to think about that for a second to make sure
He
it
brought a
wasn't good.
sledgehammer with him?
Now, yeah, there was a guy sitting across the ring from us with a sledgehammer.
Where were you guys sitting from when I came out?
All right,
and
we
threw
were
my
so we
pants?
were sitting directly across the ring from the entrance.
We were in front of the merch booth, basically.
Yeah. But when you were making an entrance from the back to the ring, down that little the hall, or that not the hall, but like the gated area, we were directly on the opposite corner. So right where you came out, if you made a left, there was a dude who was offering the sledgehammer to everyone who came out. And I was just like, who brings a sledgehammer to an event?
A Triple H fan.
Well, maybe. But
Wow.
it's a guy who wants to be part of the show.
When I used to go to the events there for MCW when I was little, people would bring kitchen sinks.
Well, and there was some guys sitting over on the opposite side, like the corner from him, around the corner from him, who were getting, I guess they were probably friends with one of the wrestlers, because they were getting really into a couple of the matches, and getting
on the right hand side.
Yeah.
I'll tell you once we get off the air.
Okay, but they were jarring heavily with a couple of the wrestlers. So.
But I implore everybody to come out, beat the heat this Saturday night. If you get tired and want to come into some air conditioning and enjoy a family-friendly show, I implore you to come to the Denton Firehouse. I'll be there. These two knuckleheads will be here.
I need to go get a wrestling license just so I can get hit through a chair during
And
the show.
these two will both be wearing pink panties during the entire event. You'll be able to see Russell's. You won't be able to see Kenny's. His will be under his clothes. He wears those every single day, though, so I guess that's not so different. But just keep in mind, doors are 7. Doors are at 7.
Commando, man, what are you talking about?
Things I didn't want to know. Doors are at 7. Bell at 7:30. Again, it's at 400 South 5th Avenue in Denton, Maryland. If you want to get your tickets in advance, and I would highly recommend that. It was standing room only last time. This time around, it's happening on the Saturday, the last evening of Summerfest. So the crowd's going to be even bigger. You want to make sure you contact Russell in advance.
$30 for front row seats.
Guaranteed
$20,
front row, right?
Guaranteed front row seats are $30. Second row, general admission are $20, and kids
$10.
8 to 12 are $10. Kids 7 and under are free.
So there you go. So when you talk about a family-friendly event, you can't beat that. Dad brings his 5-year-old and 7-year-old. He's paying for his ticket, and the kids are coming in free. So, and I will say that the last.
And I
time we
won't
were
talk to any kids this time because y'all had issues with that
there, it
last
was
time.
super creepy. You don't talk to other people's kids. Can we just say,
Look,
as
they
a
enjoyed
rule,
the wrestling. I remembered being their age, being in that same room.
yes, and then you were like, "Hey, let's go in the bathroom, and I'll show you.
No!
I'll show you a little
Don't
wrestling."
Oh, hey,
No!
we're cutting it off.
Don't put words in my
We're
mouth.
cutting it off. We're cutting it off at the
No, but
at the tickets,
it's
or you're
creepy.
editing that because that's not cool.
It's creepy when you talk to other people's kids in public. You just, that is not what you
I
do.
can't ask a kid if they enjoy the wrestling.
No. When that kid's parent is not around, you should not be doing
Okay,
it.
can we edit it? Can we cut it?
Why?
Because that doesn't need to be on this podcast at this point.
It's already been online. This is the same conversation we had after the other one.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I don't know because I don't let the internet stuff get to me. Like when I went, people would ask me, "Hey, did you enjoy it?" Because I remember watching 80s wrestling in the 70s and 80s,
Yeah.
and I was a 90s child watching wrestling. So,
But
it's like,
I
see 'em
understand the reasoning
I
behind
see
it.
them on the railing and they're having a good time and everything. I'm just like, hey, I'm glad you enjoy this. Everybody enjoys it.
I mean, so, Flash says it's also creepy that you watch Girl Meets World by yourself.
Hey, don't you dare talk bad about Topanga. She was hot. She still is hot. And so is Winnie Cooper. And she's 41 years goddamn old. So you shut your mouth about our 90s girls.
Hey,
You shut your mouth.
Winnie Cooper-
They're old enough to be our mother. Well, not me. They're old enough to be our kids' mothers.
Winnie Cooper, way older than 41.
No, she isn't.
She was
The
a
actress.
teenager in the 80s.
Go look it up right now. Go look it up right now. I guarantee you, she's 41 years old because I looked it up the other day.
All right, so really,
Boy Meets World is different. It is not different. It is set in the same. It is set in the same.
Even though it's on
the same TV era, the same
universe,
the same universe as Boy Meets World.
I have you. Mr. Feeney married Sean and the other girl the other day. Sean got
married Sean?
Yeah, he's apparently got his license to do that. And then
Yeah,
Sean,
look.
Sean wrote his own vows, and Mr. Feeney goes, "Who wrote that for you? I know you didn't do that yourself."
But so I think it's a little different when it's Girl Meets World because the show is focused on the kids.
But nobody watches it for the kids. We all watch it for...
All the grown men watch it for Topanga. Period. They watch it for the mom because she went from being the girl next door to a MILF. Cut it.
All right. Danica McKellar is apparently is Winnie Cooper's real name.
Yes.
She was in...
Born 1975, so that makes her 25,
41.
35, 41. You're right.
Russell's right for one time on the internet.
She was on How I Met Your Mother.
Yes, she was.
Yes, she actually was on How I Met Your Mother.
She was
She
hot.
snuck out the fire escape.
She still is hot. For 41. Most women once they hit 40. Actually, most women once they hit 25 or...
Especially on the Dirty Shore.
I'm 30. I can say whatever the I want to now.
Flash agrees. It's about the new one is about children. Boy Meets World is nostalgic for us, but Girl Meets World is a kid show.
I watch it to see the old characters.
I'm sure that you do whatever you need to tell yourself.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
But anyway, so
Fuck you.
I would just say, listen, you do whichever you want, but when the police come knocking and they're like, hey, listen, brother, can you come outside with me for a minute? We need to have a talk. Then I'll be like, hey, I told you not to talk to the kids. That's why. All I'm saying. And also, don't smoke your vape inside.
You're an idiot.
I'm not gonna take it next time, okay? Damn.
Because nothing worse than two things that draw attention to yourself. Smoking a vape, having smoke come out of your mouth inside of a building, and talking to children. These are not things that you want to do at a wrestling event.
I was fine until you showed up. Nobody noticed me until you showed up.
Can't tell
I
you
feel
why.
like you went like this when I was vaping.
No, I bought you 2 drinks, and then you started getting sloppy. That's the problem. You were just like...
Probably because he was drunk before he got there.
Probably so.
Never.
Oh, good lord. So, but yeah, so the event is for all ages, and again, if you are trying to beat the heat, doors are at 7, and of course...
Oh my god.
Don't even acknowledge. So,
what the hell, man?
Early on the underground.
Got some weird people in here, man.
weird people in the world.
It
So,
gets weirder every time he's on,
Yeah.
apparently.
Who, me or him?
It's still here. I'm here every week, man. Doors are at 7, so make sure that you get everybody out of the heat. It'll still probably be about 90 degrees by 7 p.m. So it'll be time to get out. Sorry, Flash says she remembers when I almost got she and I kicked out of the movies for vaping. But
What
I didn't
movie?
because I'm slick. I don't
movie?
even remember. I don't remember what movie it was.
You're not slick if you almost got y'all kicked out.
No, because they came in and they came in multiple times looking for whoever was vaping, but I kept
But you
it
see,
on
when
the
I'm at an
left.
event, I hold it in so not much comes out.
No, that's not true. I was sitting next to you. I saw what was going on.
Because you're probably drunk, Kenny.
No, I probably stopped caring because I really started to get into the show. And if you watch the video that he actually got the live stream, and Kratos was like, Are you really jumping up and down, fucking screaming right now for a match? I'm like, yes, I am. I get into it.
So, I mean, that's a good thing, though. You know, all joking aside about Kenny loving children, because he does.
I hate you.
He was getting as into it as the 10-year-olds. I don't know if you saw that, but to our right was this line of like little kids, and they were getting super into it, which I'm sure you love. Do you love when the kids get into it?
Yes, it is fun. It is for the kids.
And they got a lot of energy.
The only thing I don't like is when a kid calls me a big baby, which had happened my first match. I got told to get the heck up, you big baby, and this was 3 kids telling me that. When the kids told me that, I figured I better get up. I've had people in Pittsburgh tell me that I am a fat, ugly son of King Kong Bundy, that I'm Bastion Booger's ugly stepchild. I mean, it was like, these are grown adults telling me that, and the only thing I can do is turn around, smile in their face, and say, "You paid to see me." So
thanks for the paycheck, guys. I appreciate it.
But the people in Pittsburgh were pretty mean to me. But
Pittsburgh has some asshole people anyway.
Yeah, but it's fun. It's funny though, because I was a good guy and I had to be the good guy.
We haven't seen you play a bad guy yet, though.
And then you haven't seen me yet, like you said, yet.
You're gonna be like Hogan and just out of nowhere be the new NWO, and it just sparks a whole revolution.
But except for I'm not gonna talk to Bubba the Love Sponge, and I'm not gonna have his
sex tape.
A sex tape and a hot wife like him.
First of all,
although apparently
I will agree, you probably not have a hot wife, but anybody can make a sex tape, man.
Damn, Rob. God damn, you're a horrible person.
I'm just saying, if
Rob's already got like 12 sex tapes up. God damn it.
Not public, so I mean nobody will find out about it. But
this is delving into some morbid and deeply weird stuff I was not expecting. God, this is like me putting up a random post on the internet and 20 people jumping and arguing with each other.
That's what I do.
Oh, but you already did that.
No, that's what this motherfucker does.
Do
he'll get on my Facebook, hijack my Facebook, and then I will sit there and just go, yes, fight, my minions, fight. And he's over here acting like a complete ass.
Okay, so you can't say that I hijack it and acting like an ass if you're also fighting.
I'm sitting
acting like he's the puppet master.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, all I did was open up a dialogue for people to argue on, and
that's what I do.
And it seems like every time I open up that dialogue, this motherfucker is the only one that'll say anything.
And that's why I only post retarded shit on Facebook.
Yeah, Corey. Not Corey.
Because he's never gonna comment on anything that's Dragon Ball Z related. So
yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
So
you all.
I don't have to worry about it.
You can do your thing, nerds.
Don't know anything about.
But all right, so I think it's clear that of anybody in this place, I'm the only one who's gonna have a hot wife if I ever have a wife. No, I probably won't. And but
you might have a bunch of hookers.
But everybody can have a sex tape, though. So I mean,
we're not talking about that. This is.
And you can grow out the chops.
This podcast was supposed to be about wrestling.
You can grow out
this obviously is delving into something else.
Grow out the Fu Manchu, and
how this
hit the peds, and you'll be good. Getting back to don't even know. So getting back to the original topic though. So when you see like the kids getting hyped up and getting into the storylines and getting into the show, that does something. I mean, that's really that's why you're there.
Yeah.
You're there for the kids. Does it work the same way?
The worst thing is seeing a wrestler's kids cry because their dad's or their mom is getting beat up. That's the worst thing, but it's also the best thing because those kids
have the most natural reaction.
And it can play into a wrestler's character or not. But it's probably one of the coolest things is when you see one of the kids, like a kid's natural reaction to a wrestler is probably the coolest thing because they can either make or break that character.
Well, and that tells you how good you're doing with your character, right? Because if the kids love you and you're a face, mission accomplished. You've never seen me before, but you love me.
It's like John Cena's dad.
Right. And then if they hate you and you're a heel,
It's like the Miz
then the adults like
status.
you.
talk, don't read. Talk, don't read. Oh, good God. All right. Anyway, so since Russell decided he's going to read, that's all. No. So, do you get the same excitement when you see like grown-ass men who are getting as into it as the kids? Because it wasn't just you. It wasn't just you. Because there were some guys across from us too that were like getting real hype, and not just like at the person who was clearly their friend. Like they were getting hyped all along. And I just want to be like, yo, guys, calm down. It's a show. It's entertainment.
I mean, I don't even get into it like that when I watch it on TV, but like I said, the whole live atmosphere is completely different. You just get
the live. I will agree with you on that, Kenny. The live atmosphere is a lot different than watching it on TV.
When you're there, you just pulled into it.
What? And that's how riots happen because
how you got
get worked up. You get worked
Speaking
up
of riots, talking to Tracy Smothers in Tennessee was a pretty cool experience. He told us about how he had to be pretty much thrown. He had to jump into the back of a cop car head first and be driven like 3 or 4 miles across the city of Nashville to his car, so people wouldn't get him. This was back in the late 70s, early 80s, and he was a heel, and he was a chicken shit heel. He did stuff just to piss people off, and guess what? It worked. And in the South, you were either good or you were bad, and there was no in between. And
there was no in between really until NWO.
There was no in between until
people hated NWO, but they loved them at the same time.
They're bad guys that you want to love. They're anti-heroes.
So. They're bad guys that were the good. They're bad guys that were acting like good guys.
Yeah.
In a sense. So.
Well, so I know you have a hard out, right? Because you gotta head out of here. What time?
We could talk for another couple minutes while it's up.
No, I'm just wondering because I want to make sure we keep an eye on time. It's like 20. It's like 8:20.
Yeah, I would say 8:30. I'm good.
Okay. All right. So.
I got another couple minutes, so don't talk in me.
Okay. All right. So, what was the at the end of the event back in June? We saw I guess it's a group that I didn't know about, kind of reform there at the event, right? There was a bunch of guys who came out.
Oh, Blackout.
Blackout. Oh yeah.
Blackout.
So tell us about that because they're going to be there at the event this weekend, right?
Blackout. Right. As far as I know, because watched a little bit of their stuff online. They were a group out of Combat Zone Wrestling and a couple other companies. I believe Ring of Honor was another company. But they were pretty well. They're still pretty well known in the northeastern part of the United States. And it was a group of wrestlers that banded together and traveled and wrestled and kicked people's ass for fun. Now, the guy that came out of the crowd... Did he come out of the crowd?
Yes.
Okay, he came out of the crowd. Robbie Illuminati had an injury of some sort, and this was his way of making his, not re-debut, but his comeback, was to come through the crowd and attack Pretty Jimmy Dream and save Ruckus. And did it work? Because I was still... I believe at that point my parents became very concerned about my well-being after I got hit with a chair. And
I think it was I think it was a DQ that they ended the match because of the interference. Yeah.
Okay.
So that meant that the belt is retained because of the DQ. Yeah.
My parents became concerned about my well-being and actually followed me out to to the engine bay of the firehouse, and I was...
Because you're acting as that
good sell.
It wasn't selling. My parents actually became concerned, and
I mean, those chair shots don't exactly feel good.
That wasn't selling. That was pure, unadulterated. God, you hit me in the back. Oh crap, this hurts. But Blackout's been around for 10 years, I think, and this is they're just reforming now. well, not reforming now. They were at the deathmatch tournament. They came back during the deathmatch tournament up in Smyrna.
That sounds like a
Townsend.
New Japan wrestling type match right there.
Couple months, about 2 months ago, they reformed.
Thanks, Karina.
Well, I
Enjoy
had
your
nuggets
nugget.
last two times I was over here, so.
You kill everybody's dreams, apparently.
Yep, I'm a dream killer. I don't know.
And you're gonna kill wrestlers' dreams. Other wrestlers.
Alright, so just as a reminder again, the event is August the 20th. It's at doors are at 7. First bell is at 7:30. So you want to come out to 400 South 5th Avenue in Denton, Maryland, August the 20th, the second night of Summerfest. If you are in the downtown area of Summerfest, you are going to walk up 4 blocks to the corner of 5th Avenue and Market Street, and then you're going to walk 4 blocks to the corner of
5th and Carter.
5th and Carter. And you'll find the event right there. So it's easy enough to find. It's a close walk. It's going to be a hot day on Saturday, so it'll be a great opportunity to get the family out of the sun and out of the heat in the afternoon there. Once again, it's $30 for guaranteed front row, $20 for general admission. Kids 8 to 12 are $10. Kids under 7 are free. So it's a very family-friendly event.
7 and under.
7 and under are free. So make sure that you come out, bring the kids, and join. Looking through some of the cards that they have here, we had Blackout versus Pretty Ugly.
Yeah.
And Blackout is the group that we were just talking about, Illuminati.
Robbie Illuminati and Ruckus.
Right. And Pretty Ugly is Pretty Jimmy Dream.
And Adam Ugly.
We have
Pat Anthony versus Diaz in a Denton street fight.
Yeah, and that's for the light heavyweight championship. We have the special guest, I suppose, is Hall of Famer Sonny, and of course the return of Robbie Illuminati, who, by the way, I went to school in New York and I lived in New York for a long time. I know about 10,000 Robbie Illuminatis. Like, he is just a Jersey/Long Island dude. Anyway. So we also
He's Most Wanted versus Lars Hansen and Michael Zadamo.
Yeah.
Which Lars and Michael Zadamo are the same person. Well, I shouldn't say that. Lars is one of Michael Zadamo's split personalities. One of his personalities.
What's that?
Next week.
There's also the Fatal 4-Way match: Travis Banks, Vic Ramone, Joe Kerr, and AC Wolf. And of course,
Marcus Waters versus Eric Chappell.
James Ellsworth versus Sonny Boy.
Yes, I forgot about that match also.
Don't forget about that.
Two
Don't
hands.
sleep on that. Let's see.
Also
Kindred versus Luigi Rich.
Kindred versus Luigi Rich, and I believe that it is the Blackstreet Boys versus the Bully Club.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And my
The guys that beat the living crap out of me.
Yeah.
I want to see Gangrel back.
Not sure when he's coming back. I know he's coming back, but I'm not sure when.
So this is a packed card.
Yes.
And you are getting your money's worth if you are coming out. So make sure that you do come out and join us for the event on August 20th. Once again, if you're looking for tickets, check out the show notes of the episode. I'll have links to Russell's fan page on Facebook. It's Russell the Love Muscle, so you can check that out, and then you can contact him about getting your tickets. We already got ours, so we're ready to go. $30 for guaranteed first row, $20 general admission, $10 for kids 8 to 12, and 7 and under are free. Come out August the 20th at 400 South 5th Street. It's ACW Broken Dreams during Summerfest festivities, so don't miss out on it. Come say hi to us. We'll be there. We'll be live streaming. So make sure you're following at Dirty Shore UG on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook for updates from us during the entire show. Of course, make sure you're following at youtube.com/c/Dirty Shore UG-OTA, because we'll probably be able to live stream a little bit on there as well. And we'll talk about this next episode as well. We'll touch on just a review of the episode of the event and what happened. So make sure you join us there at DirtyShoreUnderground.com. New episodes of the podcast are available there each Thursday.
I'd like to try to get it all on Sunday if we can.
Well, we can see what happens. But Gotham Guy has a question. Russell, what's the biggest or hardest object you've been hit or struck with?
I've gotten thrown into the ring post a couple times.
Can I hit you with a chair?
I've gotten hit with a chair a couple times.
Can I hit you with a chair?
No.
He's got to wrestle on Saturday.
He's hit me with a chair many times.
Yeah, but you don't do shit, so it doesn't matter.
Once.
There's 2 podcasts of you hitting me with a chair.
And you get hit with a squeegee. Stop being a bitch.
I've also been Ric Flair.
Anyway, so you can find me on my social networks at Robert N. Cheek. Make sure you check out robertncheek.com for links to my political blog, the news website, and to my books, which are available on Amazon. Of course, make sure you're checking out the sister...
No.
Sit down. Make sure you're checking out the sister podcast, Anthem Alliance podcast. It's available at AnthemAlliancePodcast.com. New episodes available every Friday, and of course the flagship show, Oh the Anthem Podcast. New episodes of that podcast are available every Tuesday at ohtheanthem.com. Make sure you check us out on iTunes, Stitcher, Dogcatcher, all your favorite podcatchers of choice. If possible, give us a rating and a review. It helps us rise in the rankings and helps other people find us. And of course, finally, of course, become a supporter on Patreon, patreon.com/OhTheAnthem. It's a great way to support the entire podcast network to try and help us keep the lights on, keep the bandwidth flowing, and keep everything moving. So it's patreon.com/OhTheAnthem. Come out on Saturday, 7 p.m., Denton Fire Hall, for ACW Broken Dreams. You don't want to miss it. We'll be there. Make sure you're there as well. You have anything else?
Not streaming after this. This is it for tonight.
This is it. Yep. Nothing else? Thank you. All right, guys. Make sure you're following along for me. I have a lot of great new stuff coming this week, so check that out on Facebook. Until then, guys, have a great week, everybody.